Greetings everybody. Welcome to Keys to Your Best Homestead. I am talking to you today about something I'm passionate about. Talking to you about seeds. Seeds, yes. If you're going to be a gardener, if you're going to do anything within the homestead, gardening is like your number one thing. I mean, it's providing your food, giving you the resource to grow your own food is very, very rewarding on many levels. So, but in order to do that, you got a couple options. One option is, and if this, right now, it's kind of late to start seeds, but you still can. All right, there's the dog going a little crazy. You never know what you're going to get on the homestead. But if you are not already got your seeds started, it's not really too late, depending on when you want your garden to bloom. We're still early. This is the 2nd of May. We've got a lot of time out there. But if not, hold on. Max! Just saying. It's the homestead. This is Mr. Max. He is one of our babies. All of our animals have a purpose. His purpose is to guard the ridge. So, right, Tango? That's Tango. His purpose is to herd the other animals. So, anyway. Okay, so back to seeds. So, you want to make sure that you have plenty of seeds on hand because it's been predicted by a lot of people that there could be a scarcity of seeds at some point. You can either take and save your own seeds from your food that you currently eat and use those, or you can stock up. I encourage you to get heirloom seeds. We've got some heirloom seeds that are sealed up, and they are great for like in the future, and they're supposed to be good really long. But I want to talk to you today, not so much about the seeds and what you do with them, because you guys know you plant seeds, you get food. Right? I want to talk to you about organizing your seeds. They have a date on them, and the date is there because it's required for them to have a date. The seeds are going to be better past that date. I've heard people sow seeds that were like 10 years old and still work. Now, obviously, you need to sow more of them because some probably won't take if they're old seeds, right? But there is on the back, and it says use by. So when you organize your seeds, you want to organize them with the oldest ones first to use them. Okay, we had some left over from last year that we sowed already and that they turned out just fine. But I want to talk to you about organization, right? My husband loves to be organized. I got married to him. I am not, well, I shouldn't say I'm not. I don't want to speak that over my life, but I am getting better about being organized, but something I do need organized is my seeds. And so what I did is I took and I put them in alphabetical order. Basil. Now, you're probably wondering what this is that I have here. You can buy these. I picked these up at one of the big box stores, but they're actually photo containers. And they have these individual containers inside. And it's really super cool because you can categorize your seeds by various different ways. Now, some of them that I love, that I'm passionate about, like basil. I love basil. I love lemon basil. I love Thai basil. I love traditional basil. I love holiday basil. And so, like, as you can see, I have put all my basils in here, okay? Now, in the front, I've got the brand that I use the most, which is called Botanical Interest. I love this brand. I get these at the local Martins. If you can, shop local, support your local stores. Try to stay away from the big box stores if you can. They got the money. They don't need your business. But local farmers and local families do. So when you can, buy local. I buy these locally. Also, make sure that you get organic. And if you cannot get organic, get non-GMO. Whenever it comes to growing food, preserving food, and so forth, GMO stands for genetically modified. I don't know about you, but I don't want any GMOs in my life. They cause a lot of problems. We're finding more and more research on them. So always go non-GMO. Now, what I did do this year is I bought some non-GMO at the dollar store. Okay? So people tell me all the time, well, I can't afford a garden. Yeah, if you have to, go to the dollar store. These were four for $1, okay? So I've got these as backups. These are emergency type, but I usually use the higher quality seeds because I want the higher quality plant and so forth. So, out there right now in the garden, I have lemon basil and traditional basil, but this is holy basil. I love that. Sweet Thai basil. I mean, it comes in cinnamon basil, all kinds of different basils. So what I've done is I've gathered my basils and I put them together in one category. There it is, basils, okay? And then I put these in alphabetical order. So next is some brassicas here, some cauliflower and broccoli. Now, I don't have as many cauliflower or broccoli, so I put them together. And I just put 2 labels on there. Some things I have more of than others. But I wanted to show you these here wrapped in foil. These are ones that are supposed to be good for years and years and years. I ordered these online. This is cauliflower snowball and some broccoli there. So these are supposed to be really good. But again, cold plants, you know, I've had my broccoli and cauliflower out since February. And I've already harvested, and here we are, May 1st, I've already harvested some of the broccoli for my family. So also, and then it goes on, beans, beets, cabbage, calendias, carrots and corn. I don't do a lot of either one of those, so I put them in the same category. Collards, cucumbers, cilantro, eggplant, greens, lettuce, kale, whatever. Now this one's interesting. This is a category, flowers you can eat. So in here, I've got some great flowers and some herbal stuff. I got some wheatgrass and some lavender and some, you know, just things that they fall in the category where they're edible flowers. So you want to make, you know, I want to group these together when I'm planting my flowers. So let's take a look at the other one. Now see how handy dandy these are? Now I love the fact that whenever I'm going out into the garden to sow, I can just grab what I need. Now right here you can see there's a couple missing out of that. Why? They're in the greenhouse right now. One is full of all of my markers to mark your items, which I'll put a little snippet about how important it is to do that. But like here I've got all my winter squashes together. I love squash. I mean, and this stuff lasts a long time on your shelf. I've got honey nut, I've got butternut, I got honey boat. I don't know. This is new for me. Honey boat. I don't know. Put in the comments if you know about honey boats if you're watching this on YouTube. And so forth. So I've got these all in here categorized. But I can just, it's real easy because if I want to go out to the garden, I can just grab my one, you know, like today I'm going to sow peas and onions or whatever. And grab those and go. So it's really, really handy. I have a miscellaneous one for ones that I don't have a lot of. And look how thick that is. Wow. There's a lot of stuff in the miscellaneous. But you can organize them in a way where you're going to know. And obviously I have the oldest dates on top. They need to be used first before I go to the others. It's just wisdom, rotating out. When you're preserving food, growing food, you always want to watch your dates. You just got it's reality. So I encourage you to get organized. You don't have to use this method, but find a method that works for you. But something I do want to talk about is keep them out of light. I set this over under the light. Not a good choice. Let me move it back over here while we talk. But you want to keep them out of light and out of heat, extreme temperatures. So these babies right here, guess what? Slide them right under the bed. And that way they are safe and sound while I'm out, you know, in the winter months and I don't need my seeds. But I encourage you, seeds are important. You should get them, store them, and protect them. And do you know what I like to do a lot, and what I did a lot of in like January when I did not think I could take another minute of cold weather, right? I literally ordered my seed magazine. Seed magazines are fun. They are free and you don't have to pay for them. And you can literally, you can just look at them and plan your garden and so forth. And have that time to be able to decide really what do we want to do this year? What do we not want to do? Gardening is, you know, important gardening is planning and knowing what you want to do, where you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. So you can sketch out your area and start planning and so forth because knowing how we are. Okay, a lot of times we procrastinate, and then all of a sudden here we are, like some of you may be going, oh my gosh, it's May and I haven't started my garden. It's okay, because if you do not have your seeds started, go to your local greenery, go to your local store and purchase some starts and get those out and get them into the ground. The reason I started mine so early is because I'm trying really hard to get 3 crops this year. I want an early summer crop, I want a midsummer or, you know, mid to late, and then I want a fall crop. So in order to do that, I have to be very strategic and take planning. So I'm just saying that Regardless of what you sow, you're going to reap. That's a biblical principle. We know that. The Bible talks a lot about reaping and sowing. So I encourage you to sow your seeds or sow your starters or sow something, and you will get a harvest on it. It's just going to take a little bit of attention. But if you are like watching this and it's in the winter months, I want to encourage you, get your seed magazines, plan your garden, those cold months when you can hardly take it, and start organizing your seeds and getting them ready and have a plan. You know what they say, if we don't plan, then we plan to fail by default, right? So I just want to encourage you guys, get seeds, sow, and see what comes from that. We are living in times where it is very, very, very important that we start to look to ourselves. Well, let me rephrase that. We start to look to the Lord for the wisdom to provide the things that we need. Last year, March of 2020, some of the food shortages was really, really tiny. I mean, I'm serious. I went into the stores and the shelves were bare, and I was like, what on earth is going on? We know what was going on. COVID hit. It was crazy times, but we're in a different season now. But it gave us a real eye-opener, and that's a lot of the reason that I'm doing the videos I'm doing, because we want to help you to learn to become more self-sufficient. Now, when I say self-sufficient, that doesn't mean we don't rely on the Lord. We rely on the Lord, but there's certain actions that we need to take as homesteaders to prepare ourselves. So if you are watching this video and you want to know more about homesteading, keep watching. We're going to add more and more. We started our homestead in 2014 is when we got our land, and then we started slowly incrementing, slowly adding different things to it. And I've got a video coming up next that you guys don't want to miss, because it's an episode on ducks. We got baby ducks, and we are going to start doing the whole duck thing as well as the chickens. So my cue here, Mr. Max wants to go outside. God bless you guys. See you next time here on Keys to Your Best Homestead.